show to go before SummerMania. That is the show I'll be talking about today. None other than Full Throttle. And kicking us off, we would have not the usual commentators kicking us off, giving you a preview of everything. Chris Jones and Emily Moore were already in the ring. And Emily Moore started the conversation. She got it going. She wanted Chris Jones to reinstate Fletch, deeming that Chris Jones has took things personal. He's tried to make it where, how can Chris Jones make this story fit himself? Chris agreed. And we saw Fletch would be reinstated, and we will get to talking about his matchup as he was in the main event of Full Throttle later on. However, after this ended, Emily Moore would exit the ring, and we would see Brogan O'Shea enter the ring as he planted Chris Jones with the last call. For weeks, Brogan O'Shea has deemed that Chris Jones has been having this conspiracy against Brogan, making him defend his opportunity at winning Extreme King, making him lose. He blames that all on Chris Jones. Later on, Chris Jones would respond, but make sure you stick around to see how that went. Our first matchup of the night. After Deacon Storm turned on his lifelong partner, Blackheart, we would see him defend his XCW Hardcore Championship in a scramble match against Evan Phoenix, Jaden Tucker, Patrick O'Reilly, DJ Wilbert, and Jesse Justice. In the scramble match, you know multiple men could become champion. At one point, Jaden Tucker held the title. Evan Phoenix held the title. Patrick O'Reilly, DJ Wilbur, all these men vying to hold the title, even if it was only for 30 seconds. Patrick O'Reilly would try to get a cover, but this is when we would finally see Kurt Acid. He would come out, and him and Patrick O'Reilly would battle to the back. As it seems, things between those two men are heating up, heading into their matchup at SummerMania. Deacon Storm will get a submission towards the end of this matchup to make sure he retained his Hardcore Championship. From what we know, he is slated to defend that title at SummerMania. Moving right along, after getting purposely counted out against Brady Branson last week, myself and Branson would face off again, title on the line. This time, Thompson outsmarted Brady once again by getting himself disqualified. Later on, these two men, it would be revealed that at SummerMania, there will be nowhere to run, nowhere to get yourself disqualified, as Brady Branson and myself, Alex Cardona Thompson, will face off in a TLC match. There will be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no disqualifications when these two men face off for the International Championship. When we come back, we will have Mianu Diaz. He was in action against Violent Ending at this show. We'll talk about that. MILF Hunter continued his little farewell tour. Like I said, that main event, Fletch and Psychor taking on, sorry about that. We'll get Fletch and Psychor at SummerMania one-on-one. But Fletch will team up with a man seems he's aligned with in Hayden Vex to take on the number one contender to Hayden Vex, Corey Lee, and the former world champion Psychor. We also will have a man who set his eyes on the New Age Championship, Venom, a monster, former co-host of Dinner with Destruction, joining us on a phone interview to share his thoughts of what's been going down with his return to in-ring action. And make sure you stay tuned as our XCW Xtra will feature none other than Brogan O'Shea and Brady Branson, with Corey Lee as the special guest referee. All three men have had their fair share of success, and Brogan O'Shea and Brady Branson just went through a brutal rivalry, so make sure you stick around for all the results and the XCW Xtra.
Go take it all, your life, your dreams, your fire. Go take it all, this day, this time, this hour. You're unbreakable.
Back from that commercial break, like I said, we would have one of the best monsters in XCW joining us for a phone interview, none other than Venom. Venom, how you doing today?
Oh, it's another day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can feel you on that one. At Full Throttle and for recent weeks, you've been involved with Tommy Merriman and Void, attacking Tommy at points, and then at Full Throttle, we saw you face off with Void. And what has gone into the decision to set your sights on not only Tommy after you turned on him, but also Void?
My eyes has been set on Tommy this whole time, and for some reason Void's he's in the middle of it. And like I told him at the show, I said I didn't want this. I didn't want it to come down to this. I mean, we are friends. That I'm only after Tommy, and if I have to put myself in the middle of it and make it the triple threat, then that's what I have to do. But my eyes is not set on Void. My eyes are set on Tommy, and that's who I want.
All right, then this kind of seems like a wrong place, wrong time for Void. You mentioned the triple threat at SummerMania. It will be for the New Age Championship, which is a title I believe you've never held. Let's say you win that triple threat. How would it feel to win the title that has kind of, not been in your favor since you came to XCW?
The New Age has never been in my grasp. It's never been a title I've looked forward to saying, hey, that's the title we'll go after right now. Like, I've always been a high-stakes type of person. Like, if I want to go for it, I'm going to go big or go home. And, if it all lays down and I get to win and I get to do this title, I mean, that's another belt I can put on the resume of the titles that I've held.
All right, and in your XCW debut, we saw you go to the second rope and pull off a Vader bomb. Any chance we see that at SummerMania?
Sometimes you never say never. Maybe we might see one, maybe we might not see one. It just all depends if it's at the right place and the right time.
I mean, like you said, never say never. It would definitely be something interesting to see. Now, after, say, SummerMania, you and Tommy wrap things up. What is something or someone you would set your eyes on next?
If I'm right, now, okay, my question is, are we talking about retirement after SummerMania, or could you explain yourself a little bit better so I can explain myself better?
So, when you came in, you were this dominant monster, and, here recently you're proving you're still that monster. So, like I said, let's say you put away Tommy Merriman at SummerMania. XCW-wise and in-ring-wise, is there anybody certain or a title, say, that you would like to go after?
Here's my only answer to that. It doesn't matter who it is. Anybody and everybody needs to be on their toes. There may be somebody in the sights, there may not be somebody in the sights. But right now, I'm looking forward to Tommy Merriman, and then after that, I need to get myself straight. And maybe there might be somebody when I come back.
Well, best of luck to you at SummerMania in that New Age Triple Threat title match. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Rundown. And, when I come back from the commercial break, we'll get into Violent Ending taking on Mianu Diaz in a handicap match. We'll see Milf Hunter continue his farewell tour, that huge tag team main event, and of course our XCW Xtra between Brady Branson and Brogan O'Shea. Thank you, Venom.
My people up in the chandeliers, the wine and dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti, champions are born right now. Hear about the glamour, click goes the hammer, run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. All believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no cheers, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Line. Gonna make it to the finish line. Every day. Gonna make it to the finish line. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. All believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no cheers, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line.
commercial break. One final thank you to Venom for joining us, and good luck to him at SummerMania as he looks to claim that New Age Championship. Moving along, though, we saw Violent Ending taking on Mianu Diaz in a handicap match. Violent Ending showed their power in this matchup, and they were able to put Mianu, but that wasn't all they wanted. After the bell was rung to call for the match, they continued their beatdown. And, a man that has shown his respect to Mianu, and Mianu has shown back, Taven made the save, and we know now, SummerMania, Taven and Mianu Diaz will take on Violent Ending with those tag team titles on the line. Definitely an interesting matchup to say, as Mianu Diaz and Taven have faced off with both men beating each other once. Meanwhile, ever since winning those tag titles, Violent Ending have been on an absolute tear. Next up, we would see Milf Hunter take on El Jabronio, and as Milf continues his farewell tour. He would put El Jabronio away immediately, and then he took to the mic and claimed that after 18 years, SummerMania would be his last show. He has ensued an open challenge to anybody. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Will we see a shocking return take on Milf Hunter, or will someone backstage answer that? Either way, congrats to him on what has been a successful career, and good luck to him in his retirement. Next up, you would see Chris Jones come out to address the attack from Brogan O'Shea earlier in the show. Things were definitely very heated as Chris Jones called Brogan O'Shea by his real name, and this pissed Brogan O'Shea off, and he tried to attack. Chris Jones got the upper hand, though, and planted O'Shea with a super kick, and then he launched O'Shea through the stage. The challenge has been made. We know Chris Jones wants Brogan O'Shea at SummerMania in a death match. One thing I can also tell you, that match will be the main event of SummerMania. Chris Jones, Brogan O'Shea, death match. Main event, SummerMania. However, let's get into the main event of Full Throttle, where Fletch would team up with our world champion Hayden Vex to take on Psychor and supposedly Corey Lee. However, it was revealed as the bell rung that Corey Lee was laid out, and assuming Hayden Vex and Fletch would be the ones who went out and did this. This left Psychor on his own, and it didn't look good for him. People assumed that the dominant duo of Vex and Fletch would get it done. However, Psychor got the win, and he will get his match with Fletch at SummerMania. As we know, at SummerMania, Evan Phoenix will take on Jaden Tucker. Patrick O'Reilly will take on Kurt Acid. Our tag team title match between Violent Ending defending against Mianu Diaz and Taven. The hardcore title is scheduled to be on the line as Deacon Storm will defend his championship. Like I said, Psychor got his win, and now he will get Fletch. Also, Corey Lee, we know he will face Hayden Vex with that XCW World Championship on the line. And the international title will be on the line where I defend against Brady Branson in a TLC match. And we talked to Venom earlier, who we know will look to gain the New Age Championship in a triple threat match between himself, Void, and Tommy Merriman. And then, not only that, of course, the SummerMania pre-show, where, we'll have exclusive interviews, talk to people about what they expect, maybe how they think they can win and how they think they're going to prepare for SummerMania. It's definitely a show you don't want to miss, as on Rundown, that is the next show we will be diving into. Now, we're going to go ahead and dive into our XCW Xtra between Brogan O'Shea and Brady Branson.
Hello everybody and welcome to this next edition of XCW Xtra here on Rundown, and we have two former XCW champions in action on this very special edition, and on his way to the ring right now is none other than Brogan O'Shea, and what a whirlwind year he has had in the XCW.
Definitely is a whirlwind year. It seemed like he won Extreme King, but then he lost that opportunity to our
special guest referee in this matchup, Corey Lee, and now he has his sights on Chris Jones, and it was confirmed at Full Throttle that we will see them face off in none other than a death match.
Yeah, I think that it's the first death match in XCW history that hasn't involved Hazard, and it's going to involve Brogan O'Shea, who has never competed in this type of match. He's going one-on-one with a man who has had quite a few trips to a death match himself, and Chris Jones. But knowing these two men the way I know them, this is going to be the most devastating death match of all time. But here he comes right now, the All-American Brady Branson, and this was filmed earlier in 2021 as he was still XCW champion at the time. And it's finally time to go back and revisit this match. And, you know, they had quite the rivalry themselves to close out 2020.
They definitely did, winning multiple awards in their own right. Of course, their brutal main event at Halloween Havoc last year, 3 Stages of Hell, is definitely a match that people will remember. And, you know, Corey Lee has also had the rivalry with Brogan O'Shea before, and all 3 of these men, all former world champions.
Yeah, you know, Corey Lee and Brogan O'Shea had a heated rivalry all last summer that culminated at SummerMania for the International Championship in a ladder match. The two tore the house down. Corey Lee would walk out the victor in that, but Brogan O'Shea would go on to become XCW champion. And, well, fast forward a year, and Corey Lee cost Brogan an opportunity to become a 2-time XCW champion. And now Corey Lee's going to SummerMania to face Hayden Vex. But going back to this match, Brady Branson started this match in control, but it didn't last long.
You know, we talked about the plans of Brogan O'Shea and Corey Lee at SummerMania. Without, you know, Brady Branson, who will, of course, challenge for the international title in a TLC match. So for the 2nd straight year, that title will be on the line in a form of a ladder match. You know, Brogan O'Shea looking for a cover there. However, Brady Branson doesn't go away easy, as we have saw on multiple occasions.
And knowing the history between these 3 men makes you wonder, is Corey Lee going to stay fair in this match?
He'd definitely favor Brady Branson if he did decide to pick sides. But Corey Lee, you know, let's hope he plays fair and gives the XCW Galaxy a great match without the dirty tactics.
And he went for that Lady Liberty now. He goes up to the top. He hits that. Could this be it? And it's not. Brogan O'Shea knows his surroundings, goes for the middle rope, gets a 2 count, and now Brady's got to go back to the well. Could he possibly hit that finish?
You know, it'd be early to hit it, but if it does put away Brogan O'Shea, then that gets it done. You know, he wants to show that he can still get it done at this time. Of course, he was the world champion at the time this match was filmed.
And now Brogan O'Shea with an Irish whip to Brady Branson off the ropes. Goes for the gut kick. What's he got setting up for it now? And it looks like he's setting up for the Irish car bomb. Could this be the end of... No, it's not. Brady Branson quick to get to those ropes. A kick to the forehead by Brady Branson to try to get Brogan O'Shea off of him. But Brogan right here needs to be capitalizing on this.
You know, he definitely does. If he doesn't capitalize on it, I mean, we could see Brady Branson take control and win this contest. Both men taken down with the clotheslines. Which one will be the first to get to their feet? Whoever gets to their feet first, you have to think they're the favorite to go on to win this match.
Absolutely. So far, Corey Lee's done a phenomenal job as a special guest referee in this match, as both men try to work back to their feet.
Looks like Brady Branson's going to be the first man to his feet, and Brogan O'Shea should shortly follow.
And you're right, there it goes. And it looks like Brady's setting him up. Wait, Corey Lee! The referee just FML'd Brogan O'Shea, and that could be the nail in the coffin. And it is Brady Branson with a huge win over Brogan O'Shea here on XCW Xtra.
You said if Corey Lee was going to play any favorites, it would definitely be towards Brady Branson, and we saw that resulted in Branson getting the win after Lee hit the FML on O'Shea, showing his favoritism towards the All-American.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us here for XCW Rundown. Until next time, Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at SummerMania 16.